Alrighty, so I wanted to go over the images and the different ways that you could do layouts in here. I don't want to make it too long, and I'm gonna try and go at a good pace, but that's the beauty of videos, is that you can rewind them and rewatch until you fully get the whole idea and concept. So we're in your editor, and you know you're in the editor by looking at the top here. You'll see Build, Pages, Theme, Store, Settings. And right now we have this site set up in such a way that you have individual frames in here. Essentially what you did was that you took one of these and you put it in here. You put them as individual images, and that's totally fine enough. But the issue that we're running into here is that it's a little bit cluttered, and you have a lot of wasted white space on here, which you can really totally use because you have some great images that show some great form for such a trending topic right now. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to remove the spacer in here. And so we're not going to confuse things, but we're going to show the differences between what you already have as the images, and they're columnized, and these two other items in here. Now, one thing I'm pretty sure you're aware of, but I'll go over quickly and just, as a preface, when you're manipulating elements, you'll know which element you're manipulating by looking at the blue frame that's going around it, so that when you click within it, you'll get your options. You can either edit the image, replace the image. You can make it so that it's a light box, so that if they click on it, the image becomes larger on the screen. You can make it so that it is a link. It can go to an external website, and you can leave it so that it opens up in a different page while leaving your page open. You can have it so that that link, when the image, then when they click on it, it goes to a different page on your site. You can have it so that it goes to either storefront category or a specific product within your site. If you're selling anything, you can make it so that when they click on the image, they either download the image or a completely different document or something like that. Or that when they click on the image, it'll open up their email of choice, whether it's Outlook or Thunderbird or anything like that, so they can email you. But once again, that's just an option. You don't have to do it that way. As well as, they'll also get spacing options, so if you wanted to add a little more space between the image and the other items around it, you can use that. And that's with all of them. So what you just keep in mind, when you have the element on the page, if you click on within the frame on the white space within the element, within the blue lines, you'll get your options for the individual element. As well as, you'll notice that the blue frame that you have here, you will notice that they're all kind of grouped together. So watch, you'll notice that this whole thing is lit up in blue. That's because it's compartmentalized into here. And you can also shift this by clicking on it to space the columns. So if you wanted this one to be a large column because you have larger images on this side and you have text on this side, you can totally do so. So here's what you're going to want to do next. This is what is kind of important. We're going to try out these two elements right here, because you've already used this one, and show you exactly what I meant before when I said that you can really organize this, get this clean looking. So what does this do differently than having these here together? I'll show you. So remember I said click on the white space, gives you your option. Columns, we're just going to do 3. We can make it down to 2, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. It's going to give you 3 columns. And of course you can change the captioning for it or turn it into a light box, but right now we're just going to leave that alone. Let's add our images. We'll do this really quick. 1, 2, 3. Put that into there. 1, 2, 3. Now these 3 images on my desktop are each different sizes. What the system does, it will automatically put them into these frames and size them to be within the frame so that they're even and they're clean and very collage-like. It's a very quick way of organizing the images and throwing a whole bunch of them on the page at once. Now you're asking, well, what's the difference? We obviously know the difference between these now, being singular individual images, and these are now grouped images, but they're still kind of separated. And if we wanted to, we can either make links of these, so when someone clicks on them, it'll take them to a separate link. We can captionize it. Want to live here or own them. And if you put that there, when you add this to the site, when you hover your mouse over, that caption is going to come up. Or we can delete. Well, what does the slideshow do? Slideshow does something a little bit more interesting, something that I like to use quite frequently is adds these. So Slideshow, this particular option for basically these are the styles that you use for the slideshow. This one will have the arrow left to right, which will allow you to scroll from left to right, moving through the images. This one, obviously the thumbnails for the next upcoming image will be at the bottom. These will be the numbers for the next upcoming image. Same one as this one, it's just on the top. Same one as this one, except it's on the right. Same one as this one, except it doubles up. If you have a lot of images and you kind of want to have it sitting here and just go through all of them, I would suggest using this one. But I just tend to like these two. So we'll go ahead and select that one. We'll throw that in here. And what we'll do is we'll just grab this one, this one, this one, and this one, just to give you a little bit of an idea of what it'll look like. Now this box, this frame here, will give you the options on managing your slideshow. You can change the order in which they appear. So if you wanted to, you notice how your cursor goes from being a mouse to a four-way cursor. Click and drag, and it will move them around. Also, if you want to link them, same options as there were before. You click on that chain link here. If you want to caption each one of them, my backyard, you click save. Want this house, my vacation. Not that I've been there, but I want to go on vacation. You can add those three there, and you can move them around. You can also come back in and add photos. Click save, and see what it does? It puts this here. Now, if we were to add, let's say, some text, and remember, in order to control these elements, you got to look where this little blue line is going. So you notice that depending on where I move it, it tells me where it's going to drop within the editor. So we'll put this one here. What does that do? It makes this smaller, proportionate, of course. And let's add some text. Let's just add something real quick. We'll throw this in here. And boom. There we go. And then if we wanted to add, let's get a little bit fancy. See what that does? That lets me know that's going to go beneath this element. Whereas if I put this all the way down here, it's going to go beneath both. Let's say I wanted to add it to be just beneath this paragraph. And I'm going to do it for a very specific reason. We'll add another line of text. But here's what we're going to do with this. What if we wanted to word wrap it? You drop the image. Once you have the text element in there, you drag the image element within the text element. So then we'll just grab the image again, go into here. This is automatically going to resize it. And because it's a little bit large, we're just going to shrink it. Boom. See? And that gives you a bit more of style to the page. And people will get the point. If they wanted this to be larger, they want to see this image for its full effect. When you publish it, all they have to do is click on it, and it's going to give the full effect of the image. It's going to show up in a large way on the page. So once again, play around with these. Take very careful care as to where you're dropping everything. Or I'd even say even something like this. Use the title element. Once again, see where that blue line is? That's letting me know it's going to go beneath these three, but it's not going to span all the way across. And I'll show you what I mean. This is going to go right inside of the frame here. And notice how it's still inside of here. It's in this bigger blue frame, but it's next to this. This is a title. See what it did? It's within here. But what if I wanted to pull this? See how it spans across? You would ask, well, what's the difference between two? We could do this. And see how it goes above all of them. But if you wanted to just be an introduction to this paragraph, you can either leave it there and treat it like Microsoft Word. You just want to grab it, highlight it, move it to the left. You can even it out if you had multiple lines. That's good for doing something like this. See how it evens everything out. So if you want to do something like this, you can. Just remember to kind of compartmentalize and individualize everything. But I would definitely do something like this in order to really get the impact of all these images. And you're not seeing it, but it will play in here. And it'll go from one to the next on its own. And your caption is down here, and it highlights down here which one it is. But when someone clicks on it, it will once again make it larger on the page, so it's something that you can really get a good grasp and view of. And then, of course, anytime you make any changes, hit the publish button. And what I would suggest doing is, if you're going to play around with this, make a copy of the page. Don't do this on your actual page. So go here, and we'll make a quick copy. And that's down here. And we'll call this home copy. And then we'll even hide from navigation, so it's something that we can build and work on without disturbing the main home page. So then you ask, okay, well, how does that even work? Cool, no problem. We'll just make sure that we are on the main home page. We'll get rid of all the extra work that I did. And if we wanted to, the purpose of that larger outside frame, I didn't really talk about it too much. See how this blue line goes around all of them? It's so that you can take advantage of doing this. You can get rid of everything in there by clicking on that blue line and clicking this. And voila, everything is gone. Now, you ask, well, what happened to all the work that we did? Is it still on the copy? Very much so. So that's a good way of playing around with it. Get this the page that you want, create it, but feel free to make a copy and mess around with it. And you'll notice that it doesn't show up in here. Now, if we were to unhide from navigation, see how it shows up there? So there you go. It'll go away if we just hide from navigation. That'll allow you to play around with it. That'll end this particular video. We may want to go into other videos about how we're going to upload videos or even do layouts for this. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comment area below. Thank you very much once again, and stay beautiful, stay awesome, keep designing. Thanks.